Hey everybody, so for the spring 2025 semester, I'm creating this video to go over Module 2 items, and when I'm done, it's going to go between the Module 2 objectives and the to-do list. So here we go. First thing is to read Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 in the textbook. Chapter 4 is about the creative brief, and then Chapter 5 is about the creative process. And to go along with your chapter readings, I have provided PowerPoint files, which, as I pointed out here, are not meant to be substitutes for reading the chapters. Next, I have 4 graded activities under Module 2. I'll start with the assignments. Assignment 4 is what we call the group assignments and collaboration plan. This is a group activity based on the different teams that have been assigned randomly by Canvas, and it will have that component where you all work together as a team to come up with some kind of plan, but then there's also an individual component to it. One of the things you'll find in the instructions is how to see your teammates and how to visit your team homepage. And this is the best way to first connect with each other, because really that's not just the best way, it's the only way to figure out the people in your team and to get started with communicating with each other. And then after that, you could decide how best to stay in touch with each other, whether that's through texting or some kind of app like GroupMe, for example. So I'll leave that up to you. But for now, the first step is to connect with each other via the tools given to you in Canvas. And what you'll be doing together as a team is completing the group collaboration form, and then also this group collaboration plan portion. So you have 2 parts that you will be submitting. This first part, the group collaboration form, is a Word document. So you all will be, as a team, working on numbers 1 up to number 6 or number 7. So all these different parts, you all should have the same answer because you'll work on this together as a team. And then here's the individual component part. Under number 8, this is where you can put in your own thoughts. For example, if any group member did not participate, please specify that here. And then anything else you want to share with me, this is where you're going to do that. So assignment 4 is set up to where it's individual submission. So you'll have your own submission, your teammates will have their own submission, and unless you share this Word document with each other, they're not going to see that last part, number 8. But again, numbers 1 to 7 should be the same response. And then the other part of this, I don't have an official form to this. I'll leave it to you to relay this information to me. Each one of your team members could just include it in your submission also within this document, for example, or maybe one person, the facilitator or the reporter, they could be the one to submit this information. But I'm asking you to give each other roles within your team. And I have 4 on there. So at the very least, have somebody be these 3 roles right here. And then the 4th one, well, that's not going to be possible officially as a separate person for one team, because as of today, January 21st, when I'm recording this, there are 5 teams in our class with 4 people and then 1 with 3. So there's not going to be an official person, but perhaps maybe somebody could have a dual role, or maybe you could take turns. It's up to you how you want to do this. I just want to ensure that there is somebody fulfilling these roles within your team. So that will be one of your submissions also. So that's assignment 4. And yeah, you have a little bit of time, February 11th, but I would recommend please do not wait until the last minute. Go ahead and be in contact with each other, come up with a plan. The sooner you get this done, the better, right? Because then you can move forward with the other group activity, which I'm gonna go ahead and jump to, and that's assignment 6. Assignments. Oh, I'm trying to click on it. Okay, let me try it this way. Assignment 6 is the initial research and SWOT analysis. This is going to be the first step. Okay, it's not letting me click on it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer. So assignment 6, initial research and SWOT analysis. So this group project is going to be the first part of what I call the ad agency project, which the details for that are in the course syllabus. And what's in the course syllabus would be my preliminary thoughts on the instructions. However, for final details, please refer to what I have in Canvas because it is subject to change. So for example, after speaking with our live client, we have come up with some kind of plan so that each team would have a different component to work on. So let me back up a little first. The ad agency project is, so here's the scenario I've set. You all will play the role of a new advertising agency, so it's fictional, just for this class, recently hired by the brand. You will work with a team of fellow learners to research, analyze, and make recommendations for their next integrated marketing campaign. And so if you're not sure or don't know what an integrated marketing campaign is, well, that's what this class is for, right? We'll be learning about what exactly that is. So just know that the ad agency project is about coming up with some kind of integrated marketing campaign for our live client. Now, who is this live client? Well, this semester, we will collaborate with Dr. Julie Lewis. So here's her email address, Associate Professor of Career and Technical Education at the University of Central Missouri, or I might sometimes refer to it as UCM. And she's also advisor to the Mule Skinner. So the Mule Skinner is a student newspaper at UCM, and this will be the subject of your analysis. Now, the Mule Skinner, here's a link. They have a website. They also have social media platforms. And then, of course, they have their newspaper publication, an actual printed piece that gets distributed once a week. And so your project this semester with these different parts will be about analyzing the brand and then coming up with your ideas for an integrated marketing campaign. And the first step to that is assignment 6. After you all have figured out under assignment 4 how to work together, well, now you're going to do your initial research and SWOT analysis. And I'll leave you to reading about those different parts here as far as the instructions. So this is the part where it gets interesting. Because we are working with a live client, it's not going to come in like your assignments and projects. It's not always going to be a neat and tidy project that happens within the context of a course or a semester, right? And really that's okay because that's part of the learning process. When it's your turn, or when you're working at a marketing agency like I did, so I'll talk about my experience working in a marketing agency. Yeah, it wasn't a thing that happened where due dates were predictable every 2 weeks or whatever. It wasn't always that once we knew what to do at the beginning that it wouldn't change course in the middle of the project because things change. It could be that the client changed their minds, or maybe competition did something, or an event happened. There's also working with others, right? So sometimes deadlines might need to be extended, or it might need to change, be sooner, for example, or maybe they need something else because something else happened. So my main point is I would like for us to stay flexible. And as we're working with a live client, it's possible that some of the terms of this assignment might change. Now, I don't want to change it too much because it is still a class learning exercise and it just would get messy if I change it too much. I still want it to be some kind of research project with these general components. The part that's most likely going to change would be something that relates to this addendum that I added. Well, that's why it's called an addendum, that I included in the instructions here. It's an addendum because that's something new from today after meeting with Dr. Lewis. And it's not in the course syllabus. That's what I was trying to remember to say. So this is what we landed on. After meeting with Dr. Lewis, she is wanting you all to help in creating collaterals to support not just your research component, so these instructions right here, but also to actually get it posted within their various social media platforms. So Facebook, Twitter, or X, YouTube, or Instagram. So I guess what I'm saying here is this is a live client and this is your opportunity to get that professional and experiential learning working with a brand. This would be the kind of work that you would be doing if you were to choose a career in marketing. Okay, so going back here, because this is going to be one of the things that Dr. Lewis is hoping for, we're not always going to just be able to just provide her every 2 weeks some kind of something, right? Like February 18th is a due date for this. Well, it could be that between now, January 21st, and the 18th, maybe they need something. And so that's just the kind of stuff that we would have to be flexible about. Now, here's the other part to this project. So within the marketing and analytics program, we have a senior capstone course, so MK499. It's an advanced marketing research analytics class. And for the spring 2025 semester, we have one student. And so our thought was that this student would be the liaison, the intermediary, the person between your teams and Dr. Lewis. So instead of contacting Dr. Lewis directly, you would be working with this student. And so any questions or anything like that, you would relay it to this MK499 student, and then this student would then talk to Dr. Lewis and get the answers that way. And you all will also work together. So this would be also something that happens in certain teams, right? Remote teams working on a marketing project, or really any general project if you think about it out in the workplace. So this would be another way for you all to gain that kind of experience working collaboratively with a person. And so that's our initial thought as far as how this is going to work with communications. Now, the next thing that we're going to figure out, which I will communicate to you and assign to you so you can be clear, is okay, with this item 1 of 5, I'd like for you to concentrate on one of the 6 areas within the Mule Skinner. And so I will be updating this between now and me sharing this video with you so that you all would have an idea of what to work on. So for example, I would say group 1, this is what you're working on. Group 2, this is what you're working on. So these would be the 6 different areas. There's going to be the news section, features, so that's second. Third is sports. Number 4 is opinions. Number 5 is multimedia. And then the last part is about not advertise, but it would be about. Oh, I need to look at my notes. Let me pause this video real quick.